What's up guys? Today I'm going to teach you 5 easy mini ramp tricks. So when you first start skating mini ramp, you want to get really comfortable just pumping the transition, doing kick turns, and dropping in before you learn any tricks. So after you're really comfortable skating the ramp, doing kick turns and dropping in, I would learn tail stalls. That's the first trick. It's really easy. It's basically just like dropping in. You just roll up the ramp fakie and you put a little more weight on your back foot. So you can kind of rest on your back foot on the coping and go back in. So like I said, you roll fakie, you just shift your weight onto your back foot and you lift your weight off of your front foot. So I would say the practice step for this trick is just rolling up and tapping the coping and coming back in. After that, I would try rolling up fakie and putting all your weight up on the deck and just stopping up on the deck. You can take your foot off for a second, put it back on, and drop back in. This step is really going to help you learn how to transfer your weight onto the deck and then transfer your weight back into the ramp. So the next trick I want to talk about is the rock and roll. This is right in between a rock to fakie and a kick turn. I feel like this trick is actually easier than the rock to fakie because a lot of people have trouble going back fakie into the ramp. I did a whole video about rock to fakies. I'll have a link to that video at the end of this video if you want to check that out. But the rock and roll is easier because you actually get to go back into the ramp forward. So it's just like a kick turn, but you just tap the middle of your board on the coping. When you first learn this trick, you really can just tap it. You can just put your wheels barely above the coping, tap it, and do a kick turn. So when I was a kid, I used to do this trick on vert ramps, and I would never have done a rock to fakie on a vert ramp. But with this trick, you just roll up and you can tap barely above the coping and do a kick turn, and it feels just like a kick turn. So as you approach the coping, you're going to lift up your front wheels, put them over the coping onto the deck. You're going to transfer your weight onto your front foot for a second, and then immediately transfer your weight back to your back foot. As you turn your shoulders first, you're going to turn your shoulders the direction you want to turn. You're going to lift those front wheels up and go back into the ramp. The next trick I want to talk about is the axle stall. For some people, this is the easiest trick on a mini ramp, and for some people, this trick isn't easy at all. So you're going to roll up to the coping, you're going to turn your shoulders the way you want to turn. You're going to lift your front wheels up and then let your heel side wheels go right over the coping. Then you're going to put all your weight on your heel. That's going to hold you in, locked into the coping. When you're ready to go back in, first you want to lean towards your toes. And you want to turn your shoulder, your front shoulder, the way you want the board to turn. And as you're going back into the ramp, you're going to lift your front wheels up again. Make sure you're putting all your weight onto your toes, because if you don't, you're going to get hung up. So the way you adjust your weight from your toes to your heels, back to your toes, that's what's locking you into the coping. That's what holds your wheel on the coping. So you got to make sure you get that right. So it's about your weight, and it's also about timing. So if you want to turn an axle stall into a 50-50 grind, you just want to come at more of an angle and you want to go a little faster, and this trick is an easy one to actually grind and come back in. So number 4, we're going to go with disasters. You can do this fakie, a fakie disaster, or you can do frontside or backside disasters. If you do it fakie, it's just like a switch rock to fakie. So you come at the coping fakie. You do a little fakie ollie. You don't really have to pop your tail. All you have to do is lift your front wheels up a little bit and push the board forward, and it's going to land up onto the deck. So all your weight's up on the deck when you land. Then you're going to adjust your weight and lean forward. You're going to put pressure on your nose, so you lift your back wheels up over the coping and come back into the ramp. The main thing that goes wrong with this trick is getting hung up, so just make sure you really lift your back wheels up over the coping. So the last trick I want to talk about today is the Fakie Smith stall. So with this trick, it's just like the Fakie disaster, except you're going to be putting your back truck on the coping. So to do this trick, you roll up Fakie towards the coping, and you're going to want to turn your front shoulder in a little bit the way your board's going to be turning. Since you're rolling Fakie, your front shoulder is actually in the back. So as you get near the coping, you're going to turn that shoulder in a little bit. You're still going to pop off the coping just a little bit, just with that one wheel, and you're going to turn your weight sideways, and you're putting all your weight on your back foot. Your back foot is going to be kind of like right where the tail starts to curve up, right in that pocket, and your weight is really on your toe side of your board, on your back foot, and that's going to hold you in on the coping. So you're shifting your weight towards your back shoulder to hold you up on the coping. All of your weight is on your back foot. If your weight is on your front foot at all, with this trick, you're just going to fall right back into the ramp. So you pop up, all your weight's on your back. Your front foot can be kind of light and maybe a little bit pointed. Especially if you're going to grind this trick, you really want to take the weight off your front foot and you want to kind of point it forward. But if you're just stalling, it's not that hard. So all your weight's on your back foot, then your front shoulder is going to turn back into the ramp the way your board is going to turn. And you can either do a little ollie out of this, or you can just turn and shift your weight to your heels and to your front foot as you come into the ramp. And you should roll away fine. All of these tricks, it's all about balance, it's all about timing and rhythm, and you just have to practice to get these tricks down. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this kind of content, tutorials and just skate footage, then definitely hit that subscribe button, and thanks for watching.